Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, I'm joined by Baker, and hopefully the sound works today. How you doing, mate?
Very well, mate. Very well. It's been a long time. What, 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks, yeah. It's been 2 weeks,
Have
mate.
we ever had 2 weeks off?
Well, apart from end of season. And that's it. But even during end of season, you're like in chat with me, you're like WhatsApping me like, mate, we need to do another one. We're going to do another one.
We'll
get bored. Let's just do another one.
This is a big old break. How was the holiday?
Oh, mate, Turkey's brilliant. Yeah, beautiful. I think actually in the last 2 weeks, I've seen every single weather system possible. It's insane. Like it's
I thought you said you were going to be browner than me by the time you come back. Where's the tan?
It's the light, mate. That's why. I was supposed to be, but it was only 5 days, wasn't it? So it's not. When you're running around with kids, you can't really just lie around.
Yeah,
you can't really lie around. That's why I did. That's why like you go on holiday to relax, and I did like average like 13,000 steps a day by a pool.
You sent me pictures of yourself lying down every single day.
Every single day. Every single day.
Don't really lie around. Picture lying down, picture lying down, picture lying down.
Yeah, still did 13,000 steps a day. My favourite photo has to be the one of me in the jacuzzi with all the bubbles. That one, that was my favourite photo of the lot.
That was good.
So yeah, so it was cool. That was cool. That was like a private gazebo. You pay like a couple of £100 for the day, and then they just basically wait on your hand and foot. You got a jacuzzi there. You've got the beach in front of you. The gazebo's just full with food and drink, and they just bring in all sorts of stuff. You know, they disappear for 10 minutes, and they come back with some sort of vodka mango cocktail, crushed ice and stuff. It's like cool. I'll have that. Happy days.
Well earned, mate. Well earned.
And how was your break?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's been all right. I've got a week off. I've got a week off this week, but it's just half term for Eddie. But yeah, I've had lots on with him and kids, stuff. So it's been lovely. Just completely switched off. Enjoyed it.
We did manage to meet up though. We did manage to grab a beer and some food, which was good. We did actually. I believe this or not. You can believe it. You can call us liars, whatever you want. We did try and do a podcast. We were at the cave in Canterbury, and we just couldn't do it because it was too noisy and it was hammering it down with rain outside. There were no plug sockets outside. We couldn't charge anything, couldn't power anything. And by the time we'd eaten like a shit ton of food, we were like, after that, it was
lazy. We got lazy. We weren't doing it.
I mean, look, we've got to stay on brand. This is why people like listening to us.
It was. I mean, the rain. It has been raining a lot, so therefore it was like, let's just get home. We do it.
That is true.
And now we're back, and the game week's back. Has it been?
Yeah, it's gone well actually, and for the first time since maybe it's only happened like half a dozen times since we've started the podcast.
We're going this way. You're going to
I'm going straight in mid-game week.
Midweek.
You've got two more players.
3 players left.
You've got 2 more than me, haven't you? You've got Son and Porro versus nothing for me because we both got Maddison. But this is literally, I think it's only happened like 5 or 6 times since we started the pod. But I'm actually above you.
By how many points?
I don't know. It's like a couple of 100,000 places. I don't even know how many points. I don't know how many points, mate. I don't know how many points.
I just checked it. It's 3 points. So as soon as the game kicks off, it's 1.
Oh, that's not going to last long. But you were ready for that, though, weren't you? You were ready for that.
Yeah, I was ready. I was like, how is he claiming this midweek game? Fair play. I would do the same.
Hello to everyone in the chat.
4 points. 4 points. 4 points.
Oh, you've done me a disservice, huh?
I've done you a disservice. There we are.
Cool.
God, I need fucking Spurs to hammer tomorrow night.
Mate, I'll be right there with you. Don't worry. I want Spurs to do bits tomorrow. Obviously, we'd like to go 2 points clear at the top.
It's tight though, isn't it? Do you know what I think? I mean, there is quite a lot of people now that have just smashed it last few weeks because, like, if you've captained Salah last 2 weeks, you just had it off, and loads of people have. Like nobody. I have noticed nobody's admitting the luck that they've had there in that sense. Nobody's admitting the luck that, Tottenham have a man sent off and then Everton have a man sent off and there've been 2 penalties and Liverpool don't get a man sent off and all those side of things. Like the chips are falling in the right space for it, but boy, has it paid. That's been amazing.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I think you've played really well with it. I mean, I think the -8 to get Trippier in has worked out. Fantastic.
Hugely,
but also because you took Botman out.
Yeah, there's a stroke of luck a little bit there. I mean,
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
we
yeah,
can't
but
believe a word
pushed
that
it.
Eddie Howe says at all.
No,
So
no.
yeah, there is a bit of luck there, but I will take that. And yeah, it was just as I said like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now. It was just like, well, Trippier's just outscoring all the other defenders put together at the moment, and he's just clearly more involved. And we even saw that yesterday. They were just peppering that right hand side. He's just everything
Yeah,
just sucks towards him. And who's a small beneficiary of that is if it doesn't get to Trippier, it finds its way to Murphy. And like,
mm.
look what happened yesterday. So, there's definitely it's definitely tactically working. Putting it down that right hand side for Newcastle, and yeah, so I reaped a few benefits. Happy days.
Yeah.
Should we look at the
That's
scores for the
good.
week, or should we say hello to everyone
Oh,
in the chat? Because it has been 2 weeks, so hello to everyone in the chat.
it has been. Thank you for coming joining us.
Yeah, 115 of you already. So thank you very much for coming and
I think a
saying
lot of people
hello.
had a good week, so I think
Well,
they should
everyone's
get
had a
it.
good week. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people have had a good week because you've obviously got like people who haven't had Salah have been sitting on like Boomo and whatever. So everyone's just getting
Why
covered.
don't they ever context that? Like I had a tweet out today about that. Like everyone's like, "Oh my god, Salah's killed me." Oh, if you don't have like the amount of people that don't have Salah, but also don't have, say, Sterling last week or Bumo this week or Trippier, they've all got them.
Yeah.
Like I think everyone's like, oh, those that are, say, for example, wildcard 10. I've been seeing loads go like, oh well, it's too late now because game week 8 and wildcard was fantastic. And you're like, they're doing all right. Like everyone's doing all right. It's not really been bad. And it could happen again. I think the game week 10 wildcard is going to have so many good things in their team.
Yes.
So many good things in their team.
Yeah.
But game week 11, I think, actually probably suits the non-wildcarders again, and that's how it flips and does all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm just about to spam a link in the chat very quickly. If you want to retweet it, we'll do a draw for a mug a little bit later. So I'll just spam it in here just for a minute. Just go and retweet that and make sure you're in the stream, and then we'll do a mug giveaway later because it's been so long since we've been here. So let's do that, and we've got plenty of mugs, so we can do that. We can order more, so it's all good. But our game weeks. So game week 9, I am well. Go on. Oh, shall I start?
Show us.
So I am on 71 points. I mean, it says 70 on screen, but it doesn't count. Live FPL doesn't count the subs coming in. So 71 points so far. Obviously I've got Strakosha after he obviously played last week. I thought I'd stick him in with the Burnley fixture. Obviously Flecken was fine. Came back. I think, did you say he had like...
Why are you pretending like you won't do this loads of times? Like this will not be the last time that you start Strakosha.
Yeah, but no, it was strictly because of the fixture, right? Like, look, it's been proven, right? Like the Areola fixture was a bad fixture. Villa were good.
Yeah.
So
we know you love the auto sub action anyway. So
mate, honestly, if that Forest Luton game was off, Kabore was straight in. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So yeah, I've got double Newcastle defense still. Yeah. I've got Share and Trips at 17 points between them. That's good. Cash as well. Meh, that's fine. Doku, obviously, I was a bit unlucky not to get more from him. Well, I was a bit unlucky, a lot unlucky. To get more from him. Ward-Prowse, Rashford, he's gone this week. Like Doku was a priority out for me this week, but he's going with Rashford and maybe with Alvarez as well. I don't know yet. We'll find out how much money I can farm out of that and see if I can upgrade Archer, but I just don't think I can get Archer all the way up to like a Watkins or something like that. But I've got Salah, didn't captain him, which is fine, doesn't matter because he's 58% owned at my... I mean, I say it doesn't matter because obviously if I'd have captained him then I would have got more points. Okay, I get that bit, but it's not a huge issue.
Which camp do you fall in on this? I've seen loads of people that definitely hate the idea that when they didn't captain Salah, like that he's hauled, and I'm like, great, it's worked out brilliantly. I'm the other way around. I'm like, as long as they're not. I think if he was about 85 or 90% owned, I would be like, ugh, I don't really like it so much.
I don't think it matters if you own both of them. If you own two of any player, then the only reason you should be pissed off that you didn't captain the player that scored more points is because he scored more points. Who cares about the ownership?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's just got more points, and it's as simple as that. So, yeah, Salah 16, happy days. Alvarez 9 and Haaland 8 doubled to 16, 71. And then got Maddison tomorrow evening.
Joy.
Which, hopefully he's good. And then I will hand over to you, mate. It's all yours.
Yeah, so I'm on after the auto sub. So Ward-Prowse are coming off Botman. So I'll be on 60. But yeah, my week, very similar players, very similar stuff. But the main thing for me is that I need Spurs tomorrow. And so I need Son, Porro, and Maddo to do the business. Today was horrific. Cash Diaby and Ward-Prowse for 6 points, whilst Watkins and Bowen smash it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to not annoying to get like a bit of a red arrow out of that game when you got 3 players in it. But I mean, I looked at it this morning. I was like, I've got 3 players in this game, but the best 2 assets are not the 2 assets I've got. So
yeah,
you face into what you expect to face into.
Fair enough.
All good.
All good. Yeah, someone in chat saying that live FPL do show the post sub ranks. They do, but they just don't show them. They just don't show them on this screen in the top. So my post sub rank is 1.525 million, and Baker's is probably just a little bit higher than 1.75 million. So it just doesn't show it right here. Just the way that we've got it presented. So yeah. Cool. Kick off with Newcastle versus Palace. The big news from this was that Eddie Howe could not tell us that Botman wasn't playing because it was so important for him not to release that critical information.
Couldn't tell us.
Obviously
couldn't tell us.
What a prick.
I love him. I genuinely love Eddie Howe because he is just. But we know he lies, so you can't trust it. You also can't trust that Sean Casey guy who's always tweeting out, who came out earlier with Botman's fine. Yeah, he's done. He's last strike. He's out. He's out.
I'm annoyed you've referenced a Twitter account there because I was going to say Eddie Howe's about as reliable as leaked_FPL, but there we go.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
What's your stance on those? While we're there, what's your stance on those? I was talking about it with our friend Danny earlier about when we have accounts that leak that are wrong. Do you just go the straight block off?
Done. You've got to be 100% right every time. Like if you're gonna pretend to be if you're gonna be an account that leaks stuff, you got to be right. If you're not right, then what's the point? So I'm not interested in seeing fake info. Like I will if that info is correct, then a source that I trust will retweet it or will pass that information on anyway. Is my thing from it. So like the guys at Lazy FPL, right? So Ross and James, like if they get information and they share it, they've not been wrong. So if the leaked FPL, if they get theirs from the same source that leaked FPL does on that particular day, and then the Lazy FPL guys put it out there, I will take that information as gospel. Just don't get it wrong, boys.
Block them off. I kind of quite enjoy it. I quite enjoy that everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm blocking you" type thing. And I want to see if they carry on doing it even after they've been absolutely tarnished. I want to see them still try and carry on. That leaked lineups guy after he messed it up on Saturday. He then was like, I've got no one left in the next game. I was like, mate, why are you tweeting about your game week? You're done.
Yeah. I mean,
I like
it was what he said. It was what he said afterwards. He was like, "Oh well, it's supposed to." Was it like it was something like I had it confirmed this morning, and then this was about the Darwin news, by the way. But yeah, it was like I had it confirmed again this morning, and then new information came up after he tweeted, obviously, and then he just went, "Well, we'll see." But no, well, not we'll see. You're the person that's supposed to know. That's why you're tweeting it out, you dick.
It's gone so bold with his leaked lineups. They ain't leaks, mate. They ain't leaks. They're predictions. But
Newcastle were good.
Newcastle was so good. They are just really good, really good. And I think everybody's. They're hard to predict in the forward line of who you would get. Gordon, though, is a really good asset. I don't think anyone on wildcard. I'm not seeing anyone with Trippier or Gordon on their wildcards, and I think you should still consider it because their away games are. You can spin this in 2 narratives. You could say their away games are easier and their home games are harder. Therefore, they're going to struggle overall. Or you can spin it the other way and say, well, they'll win all their away games, and actually they're so good at home, it doesn't matter who they play.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's a good game for Arsenal home to Newcastle in 2 weeks?
No.
I don't think it's
No,
a
no,
good
no.
game at
No,
all for Arsenal.
Newcastle home to Arsenal.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think
that's not a good game for Arsenal.
no, it's not a good game for Arsenal. Definitely not.
It's not a good game for anybody.
I don't think
Going
actually it's a
going
good.
to
I don't
Newcastle.
think it's a great game for Newcastle. Really, I don't think it's a great game for Newcastle. Like no one's going to sit there and turn around and say it's like a green ticker game. It's a tough game.
No,
It's a tough game with two teams that are near the top of the table, and it should be treated as such. Like if
but
you,
these boys,
but you normally
these boys are
hold your
just
players through
continuously
those.
putting it up, aren't they? Their XG, they're continuously putting it up there. 22.5 XG, most in the league. There's a lot of when I watch them that reminds me of Liverpool from a few years ago. In the midfielders are functional. In fact, Longstaff, I don't know if you saw it, but Longstaff was doing that kind of rotation that Henderson used to do with Salah and Trent. He was doing that bit where he kept taking over, and Murphy and Trippier were Jacob Murphy playing the Salah role, obviously, and Trippier doing the Trent role. But there's a lot about it that's get it to Trippier, let him bang it, and hey, we're going to be on the attack really quick. Gordon's kind of playing the Mane role, except their number 9 actually scores goals. But there's a lot about it that the midfield are just kind of being used, and actually, what you're seeing is the right back, the left winger. And obviously they've got very good number 9s. It feels like it's quite predictable where those goals are possibly going to come from. And I really like the way that Murphy and Trippier, like they're both unbelievable deliverers of a ball. So you've got to try and get as close as possible to him, because if you give Murphy space, he'll put in as good a ball as Trippier will.
Well, you just have a look for the Gordon goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a fine, and for the Wilson, the cross for that was fantastic too.
Yeah.
As a first time, he's just a very good striker of a ball. They're not going to go away.
No. I mean, you'd still expect is who were they missing from that midfield though? Were they missing anyone yesterday? They weren't, were they?
I don't think so. Tonali did.
Tonali, yeah.
But Longstaff just does that Henderson role like so well for them, and obviously Bruno's great, and Joe Linton's fantastic driver of ball. Them three enough. Yeah,
and they've got weapons, right? So that's
we just assumed that Lascelles would come in and it would be a lot worse, but it's not. I know it's Palace, and Palace could have scored. To be fair, they had a few little chances of it.
Not much, not much though. I mean, look at this graph, man. They're absolutely
Pope do 2 decent saves though. I know the free kick.
The free kick was one. I don't remember the other one.
There was one just before it, one before it as well.
Oh, okay.
But he made a couple of decent games, decent saves. They're just really good, and I just do not expect them to just suddenly go, oh, I'm going to be rubbish now.
Yeah. I think for those that have already wildcarded and maybe are sitting on a Gahey or an Anderson, this is just a game against Newcastle away from home. Like, it's just a hard game. And, I had Anderson on my bench here, so wasn't really expecting very much and got nothing in the end, so it's fine.
You'll use him
just one of those
times, right? When you can, and you won't use him when it's in games like this. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
If you've got Trippier.
I do.
If you're a wildcard, would you have Trippier?
It's a tough one. I think as on a wild card, I think it's more difficult than just saying if I had him, which I do have him, I'm not selling him. I think it's probably probably my stance on that. I'm just I mean, where else do you want to put your money though? Where else do you want to put your money into the midfield? I mean,
I think I would just back Trippier with any of your Palmers, Netos, Gordons of this world. Like, you pair those two up, and I think they just are just such a gift, really. Like, I feel like we have got a lot of gifts. The problem is there's also lots of really good midfielders as well, and therefore it's just quite difficult. But I'd still be more tempted to stay with a 3-5-2 more type formation than the 3-4-3.
I'm happy enough to drop down to one Newcastle defender. I think that's fine. I mean, I think it's very easy to go like share to Gabriel and just do that. That's really comfortable. I mean, you could even do like share to Simicast and free up half a million there and away you go.
Definitely.
the only problem with the Simicast one is that if you have already got a couple of bench boys on there, so I've obviously got Anderson and then I've got Kabore and I've got Archer. I'm like really, really light at that point. And so I'm committing to that for quite a long period of time because I've already wildcarded. So that probably just makes me feel a bit uneasy having more like a Gabriel. I know he's only 4.7 or might be coming up to 4.8 soon, but the price point's kind of irrelevant given that he's an Arsenal centre-back, right? I think that's the key there. And he's not going to be replaced like Simicast will. So yeah, would I have him? Would I have Trippier on wildcard?
No rush to sell them, though, are you? Now you've got them. I know the fixtures are getting up, but you're on no rush to sell them.
And we've got no news on like I saw Praz asking about Estupinan and like updates on Estupinan because we just have no update on him at the moment either.
No, the only thing that De Zerbi said on Estupinan is he said that we definitely haven't got him for Ajax.
Yeah.
So that means that like you probably haven't got him next weekend either.
Yeah.
I think that's what you'd have to assume if he's ruling them out of that. But
I mean, outside of that, where are you going though? Because I mean, I know a few people have jumped on Dalot recently, which has been obviously great for them this week. But looking down the fixtures, I mean, we're already sitting on like a cash from Villa. You probably wouldn't double up there. The only other teams with good fixtures, maybe West Ham, but they just got absolutely pumped today.
It sounds like you're transitioning to talk about Villa versus West Ham.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk Villa versus West Ham because they did absolutely pump them today.
They did. I don't think West Ham were bad. They had a good spell before half-time. Which made it feel like they were getting back in it. But you give away a penalty, you're 2-0 down. I mean, they've obviously got back with a massive deflection goal. But Villa at home, just
is that 11 in a row, is it?
Ridiculous, isn't it? You know, and it's not just 11 in a row, though, is it? It's like 3 goals minimum from them almost every game they're at home.
Yeah.
West Ham are good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not bad. I mean, even so before Watkins scored, West Ham were getting forward, they were getting chances. Antonio was making Powell look stupid a couple of times as well. And yeah, just couldn't get shots away, couldn't create that final chance. It's really pissing me off that Ward-Prowse is pissing me off, man. Like, I haven't watched loads of West Ham this season, but when he does the shit and he's in SofaScore as like two of the eights, and then you bring him in, and then suddenly SofaScore have it as 2 6s and an 8, and he's then one of the 6s. It's like, well, it feels like it's a change in role, a change in position.
Well,
you get all the set pieces, and that's all you really get.
That is it, though. But this is very similar to the conversation we had about Bumo, isn't it?
No.
We had the conversation of it's going to annoy me having Bumo in my team. I'm going to watch those things, and you're like, yeah. And this is a whole thing about the type of player that you're going to be and the type of things that you want, of how much you want the players that are in these certain spaces. No way on earth you're going to buy Ward-Prowse now. Like, nobody's buying him, but me and you are stuck with, the weird set pieces man that's all he does. It's just very,
why is he
very
now only
difficult.
doing set pieces though? Why is he now only doing set pieces? Why is he not advancing beyond the front man? Why is he not making late runs into the box? Why is he not doing the stuff? Is it just because Souček's just doing it?
They're not playing the teams where he gets to do that. Like that when he plays Everton next week, let's see if he gets further forward.
Okay.
When he plays Forest in game week 12, you see if he gets further forward. It's the same thing as the Bumo situation is. Like, I didn't expect Bumo to have a bad game against Burnley because he's playing Burnley. Do you know what I mean? And if they're getting 13, 14 corners in a game against Everton, I reckon he's got a good chance of getting involved, and he'll get more chance, and they just play higher up and he gets more involved, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just, how it is. But you definitely wouldn't buy Ward-Prowse now. That's what it is. But can you sell him with these next few games? Probably not either.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out why we didn't get the forward-thinking Bumo against Forest or against Everton, but we seem to get him against Burnley. It's just frustrating.
But those teams coming up are just so bad. They've come up are just so
They
bad.
are fucking. They're terrible. I mean, yeah. One of our mates was saying in WhatsApp, like, it's so tight at the top of the league, and the reason with that is because everyone at the top of the league is winning games, and because the teams at the bottom of the league are so shit, they're all losing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a case of like teams are taking points off each other. Like, all the top teams are just taking team points off all the bottom teams, and it's just battering. Yeah.
Watkins.
Like, the way, I mean, he should have scored again, almost straight after that. But the way he took that goal, I just felt as soon as it was passed to him, he'd scored. Didn't you feel that? Like, the pass comes through and he gets Zuma going inside, and you just know he's on the outside and, like, full of confidence, just smacking it in at the near post. Areola didn't even move. I mean, it was past him before he even moved. He didn't even realise what had happened.
When he got the old 23 points, whatever it was, the other week, I remember
hat-trick against Brighton.
Yeah, Zoff from the Wire was saying about the fact that he just suddenly felt like he was pissed. You know, that everyone was like thinking he's not the main man and stuff, and he was really selfish. When he scored that goal, I don't know if you saw it, but loads of people came over to celebrate. He didn't give a shit about who was coming over to him and celebrating. It was just all about me. And then he even almost like cleared them all off. And then the camera came round and it's just him on his own giving it to the crowd. Like, he is full big fish in that pond, mate. Like,
I mean, at the start of the season, people were like, "Oh, Diaby's looking nice here. Diaby's looking nice, mate, taking some goals and all this sort of stuff."
Personally, Diaby in particular, when Diaby came over, like, he didn't even look at him. Like, he was like, "Mate, I just score. I just."
Is this full Mane Salah vibes? Like, they actually just hate each other.
No, because I think the other way around, Diaby loves it.
Well, yeah, I know.
So many good passes.
This is true.
Him. Like, he did some good stuff. Like, Diaby was first half, he was superb. Like, they were scared of him. I mean, it does help. You know, you get up against Emerson. It's not the harder side of that team, but yeah, Watkins just is the boy.
Are we sure it's not Douglas Luiz? Is that right? He scored in 7 home games in a row or something like that. Did I see that right?
If you're considering JWP, just buy Douglas Luiz. You know what I mean? If that's the sort of like pervert that you are.
Well, I'd have Doug over. I mean, no, I think obviously JWP is a different. I compare Luiz more to Bumo in the sense that obviously because he's got the pens. So I'd have him on that level.
And the corners.
And the corners. Well, I know that's what JWP has. Why haven't West Ham scored more set piece goals? It just annoys me having him. Because I had this glimmer of hope that we'd turned a corner on not being able to time JWP returns. We were going to start getting more of them because he was in a better team with taller players and bigger players who score goals and stuff like that. Even Bowen's scoring fucking headers now, and he's 5'3". Like, you just thought it was all going to happen, and it didn't.
JWP, mate. It's JWP. JWP doesn't become a different player than JWP. We knew what we were dealing with. People always go along about like he's a ticker, and he's not. He's an explosive player, JWP. Like because he's basically 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Then he scores, and it's a minimum of 10 points because he's going to get
all the bonus and everything.
He's actually an explosive player that is just weird. But you can't go past these guys. With these next 3 game weeks, you got to have some of the action.
Yeah, I definitely feel a little exposed with just cash, with just Luton, Forest, Fulham coming up. That doesn't feel like enough.
But it doesn't matter. This game showed, the numbers don't matter. Watkins is the boy that we need.
Yeah.
I've got to take a hit to get Watkins.
Definitely.
And I've got to lose Alvarez.
Yes.
To get Watkins.
I mean, technically, I could. If I did Rashford to Palmer, I could do Archer to Alvarez.
Now we're talking.
That sounds fun. I think I can get there. I'll have a check at some point in the stream. I'll have a check, and I'll do that while you're talking away on something. But shall we move on to the Merseyside derby, where I've got a very, very small Liverpool badge there, but a massive Everton badge for some reason. No idea why. But yeah.
Let's not. Because Everton were pretty good for a half. They were pretty good. And actually, to be fair, look, we said this the other week about Liverpool, but if you take out the pen, it's not that big. Same as the last game. That they were bad first half, Liverpool. Like, I won't hear anything else. They were bad. Liverpool were bad in that first half. Not even slightly good. They were bad. You know, McAllister's like a 3 out of 10, 6. Like, you wouldn't pay 5 million for him as a number 6.
Do we put any weight on the midweek international flight and all this sort of stuff as well?
No. It's a big caveat of that.
So then you pull him back from 8 to 6, so he doesn't have to do as much running. Because I remember the last time, obviously he just came off after 45 minutes, and he was just blowing out of his arse, so he just had to come off. Yeah,
but continuously, he's not putting a single good performance in this 6 role.
No, fair.
There's no good game that you've looked at it and gone, "Oh, McAllister's a good player in that role." Szoboszlai, on the other hand, is an unreal player.
Yeah,
he's an unreal player. But they were fighting hard. Obviously, actually in the first half, doesn't show on this, but I felt like Calvert-Lewin was the best chance of the first half. As an opportunity to get there, and they caused them issues. They just.
So someone's asked about Liverpool's Everton's XG here is 0.12 total.
Yeah.
Pretty rank.
But that's the point about one game things, is there's lots of things that happen that are like don't actually end up playing into XG. If you watch that first half, Liverpool.
How's this? More than half of Everton's XG yesterday happened in the very first minute of the game. Sensational. Yeah, that is brilliant.
But
anyway,
yeah, that if you're looking, you weren't enjoying that first half out.
No, but the game completely changes. Obviously, it's like one of those. The game just completely changes with the red card.
Stupid thing, it's stupid.
Yeah, stupid. Young making challenges that would have worked 18 years ago when he first started playing in the Premier League, and would have been fine
as a winger.
Yeah, playing right back. I don't understand why they're not playing Nathan Patterson right back. Okay, I don't get it.
Makes no sense.
But who's actually a right back and an international right back at that.
But the great news is you put Michael Keane alongside him.
Who's the God?
He's so bad. I
don't get it.
So bad. He's so bad. But obviously, once it goes 10, it was happening. It was coming. Keane would have done something if he didn't handball it. He'd have tried. He'd have
scored an own goal. Something.
He'd done something. He'd done whatever he needed to do to get the result that needed.
Yeah, 50
Salah
quid on
again. We said it when he scored that last pen. That hey, that's a good pen. That was even better pen.
Yeah.
Klopp's done so well though, mate, and he like he just calls the world on it, and then suddenly guess what? Pen every week.
Yeah,
and then you don't get a red card.
And then don't get a red card. And I mean, it's mind-boggling how that second one is not a yellow card. And Steve in our Discord, I mean, bless him, he was, and he'll be listening to this obviously, but he was livid yesterday. Obviously, it's like, why didn't VAR check it? Because it wasn't a red card. Like, it wasn't a straight red.
But it's good now because it's reset. So. That's how the world works in the refs. So Liverpool have now had the rub the green back, so now they can ref them normally again.
That'd be great.
That's how they work.
That'd be great.
That's how they work.
I did enjoy the journalist asking about a replay. I mean, as it was, I can't believe he actually went and did it. but the journalist asking whether the Everton should have a replay now because of that decision.
Klopp's not able to take it though. Like,
no,
are you serious? Like,
yeah.
Come on, mate, have a laugh with it. Like, play with it.
You said, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it's what it is.
What are we saying Liverpool assets then? Just Salah? Are we are we in a desperate need to get to Nunes?
What?
Other than the fact that he's not playing games.
I think wildcarders, I think they all will. I think everyone will. I think non-wildcarders, there's no way on earth that you've not got enough stuff that you need to do that Darwin becomes the priority. there's just too many other things. There's Arsenal guys which we haven't got. There's Villa guys we've got to prioritise. There's all these other people of other players. There's Brighton guys that we want to get back on. It's so hard to think that the thing that you're going to do if you're a non-wild card is go, I'm going to go for Darwin.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense that would be the thing that you would do. But I thought first half watching it, I thought Trent was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant. But you try and do it. You try, like I was saying about the Trippier thing, and it's hard for people to get in. You try putting the Trippier, try putting Trent in, and then see what else you've got to try and give up. It's a tough game. I think everyone will just have Tsimikas.
Yeah,
I think everyone would just have Tsimikas is on wild card. It feels like a no-brainer that you'd do it.
Well, yeah, because you can build in a transfer, or you can just build him in just to sit on the bench. I can't see a world where you're going to triple up on Liverpool.
No, I think everyone would just get Tsimikas in. I mean, like I say, he gets taken off, and he's not very good, Tsimikas. Some of the crosses were ranked, but he got in some really good positions. He got some really high positions, and you're like, that can work out. Like, at some point, he's taking corners and he's getting in really good positions, and he's 4.4 and he plays for Liverpool, got really good fixtures. It's absolute madness if you don't have Tsimikas.
Yeah. Yep.
On we go. So Tsimikas and Salah's obviously in. Whether you take up that third slot, I don't know. But the games are so good that I think everybody will just go Darwin too.
Let them. They're going to have to,
right.
But let them. I think it'll be right.
Good. Is it just obvious that you captain Mo next week? Home to Forest. You just conceded 2 to Luton.
No. I don't think it's obvious.
I mean, Saka is a great captain option next week.
So is Watkins.
Watkins is an absurd captain next week.
But if they're at home, why not just captain Douglas Luiz? Like, Brighton have got Fulham. Like, let's have a look at Fulham tomorrow night and see what they do away from home. Because
you got to put this in, isn't it? Like both Salah and Ollie could be over 100% next week. I mean, Salah definitely will be over 100%.
Salah will be, definitely.
Ollie's not going to be far off, if not.
You're talking top 10k or top 100? Top mil.
Any K.
You think?
Wherever you are.
It depends on how. I mean, I guess it does. It depends. I mean, if we see like 2.5 million wild cards, then yeah, then yeah, you could see Haaland below 100% for the first time. Imagine that. Because if
it's going to be like that. Do you remember that? Do you remember when we had Bruno, but no one was capping him, and he was like 105%
every
week?
Fucking week? Yeah,
that was horrific.
That was so annoying.
You just were like,
because you were all everyone was just capping Salah all the time.
Yeah, it's going to be like that with Haaland for a little while.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about Bumo. Let's go Brentford, Burnley.
I hate him. The goals are amazing in this game. Like, the Wissa one obviously was fine because it was a nice finish, good move, and whatever. But like again, I talked about one of those.
Paddling.
That's
a full paddling.
Look
at that. That is just bang, 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 bang.
Why have I just thought about this like from a Simpsons point of view with a paddle?
Yeah, that's it. That's where you say.
That's where you come from. It's a paddling.
It's the what's the old guy's name? The old guy's the little guy. He says it.
Is it Simpsons?
Abe's mate. Yeah. Abe's mate in the Simpsons says that's a paddling. It's the Simpsons, aren't mine. 100%.
I just felt like it could have been like a Family Guy.
No, Simpsons.
It's not that.
That's a paddling.
It's not that pervert from Family Guy.
No. It's Simpsons.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't play Burnley every week. So I'm just trying to convince myself that not having. I mean, I might have turned around and said Boomer was a hard sell 4 days ago. then just then just watched him. I mean, like he had 0.4 xg. I mean, he had about 6 shots. He had a lot of chances. And he scored one that was one of those that just looks nice when the guy on the edge of the box just sets it out for you, and then you just chuck it in the top corner.
Yeah, exactly that.
So
the
nice.
Weight of it, everything.
So just a little present. Oh, here you go, mate. How about you do this? How about you do this? Just open your body up. Just you have a go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just do that. I'll just tap it in the top corner.
Yeah. In the chat have told us, someone tried to say it was Heinz Molman, which is not. It's Jasper. Jammer has come with us with Jasper. It was Jasper. He went to
Quagmire is not the pervert from Family. No, I'm talking about the old guy. I mean, he's a nonce. The guy, Family Guy.
He went to the school and he was going through staff, Jasper, and he was at the front with his. He had it looked like a cricket bat. Well, it's a paddle, obviously, and he just kept saying, "He's like, that's a paddling. That's a paddling." Yeah. Jasper.
Go way off topic. I love it. I love being back, man. This is nice.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice.
Fucking Boomo.
How lucky was I with my Flecken clean sheet?
Look at that chance. Look at that chance. 75th minute.
Right angle.
I love the way you say right angle. Like every chance isn't a right angle.
Yes.
None of these are curves, mate.
Yeah.
But I mean, a man with no right foot, I guess, because he went with his left foot. It was weird.
Where was Flecken off to? He's so rubbish. He just likes
just get Strakosha back in. Just get Strakosha and get some points.
Yeah,
just get back in.
It's bad. Boomo though. So wildcarders, a lot of them have Boomo. And I have not seen many. I actually thought this was a really great case study for why there are no casuals left in this game. Because, Boomo now is the 4th highest midfielder for points, 54 points, same as Son. And he's got 25,000 transfers in and 40 transfers out after getting 14 points. We would not have seen that. If someone gets 14 points, you'll see 200,000 transfers in. That was just the rule. He got 14 points. And his next 2 games are away to Chelsea and home to West Ham. They're not terrible. They're not terrible fixtures. Do you think anybody on wildcard's keeping it? And if you do see someone, do you immediately just say that they don't make their own decisions and they just follow FPL review?
Chelsea away, West Ham at home, Liverpool away, Arsenal at home before Luton.
Yeah.
It's another 5 weeks. I mean, you could find your way to in 5 weeks' time for that Luton and Sheffield United game.
That Luton and Sheffield United, though, you do want him.
You kind of want him there.
18.
Yeah,
you got the blank in 18 to get him out again.
Yeah, that's
I think a lot of people, certainly analytics community, I think they'll just keep him because.
Well, I mean, look, he's still relatively cheap. He's on pens, then fine. I mean, he's better than Ward-Prowse.
It's a lot
better than fucking Ward-Prowse.
Oh no! I mean, Flecken. I hate playing Flecken again until he plays Luton. I don't think.
Yeah.
Even home to West Ham, I think I'll play Areola above him because at least I trust Areola more than him. That's a tough gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Man City and Brighton.
Let's go. So, game of 2 halves. I think is probably fair.
I feel like it's just a game of City. When we had Luke on, we talked about he used the control word.
Yeah.
In terms of it, and we do see it. But what we used to see is that with Kevin De Bruyne, with Gundogan, Gundogan only thinks of one thing. He literally is like, I'm going to get in the box, I'm going to get in the box, I'm going to get in the box. And KDB, even when it's not the best opportunity will just keep creating something.
He'll be threading needles. That's what he does.
Yeah, threading needles, or just chancing his arm.
Yeah.
So when you watch Trippier, he's just constantly chancing his arm.
Yeah. Early deliveries, isn't it? It's early deliveries, catching defenses the wrong side, or getting defenders moving towards their goal while the striker's running at them at full pelt, even though neither of them got the ball. That's scary shit. Because the corridor of uncertainty is much bigger with a deeper cross.
Yeah. And it just felt so good at that. There was always a chance of a goal. Trippier and Murphy this weekend, you watched them and you were like, any attack, something good could happen out of this. Szoboszlai Szoboszlai banging it or just doing what he does, and Trippier, you thought, something can happen. When you watch even Villa today, you thought similar stuff. Like they're planning to try and get stuff to happen, but they've also got those like prime playmakers, those guys that are they're just cool. They're just cool to watch. And Alvarez and Foden, they're doing okay in the XA business. They're doing okay. Like if you look at them, I think I looked at something like the top 30 earlier today, and those two are in it. They've got 2 in the top 30 for XA. But they're not the top. They're not like what Trippier's doing, what Bruno's doing, what people like Neto are doing, Maddison are doing, those type of players. They're not creating those anywhere near that volume because they don't chance their arm very often. They're not looking to give the ball away and so forth. So watching it as a Haaland Kappa, you're always looking and thinking, when's the next actual shot coming from? You feel like you can go away from the screen for a little bit and come back and just see if it's happened. Yeah. There's just a lack of creativity, and I'm not. Look, we're not better than Pep in this world. I'm not sure Foden and Alvarez is the answer. I feel like Grealish and Doku would be much more fun to watch, and then you just play one of those two. But they just, because they try and ooze this sort of control bit, what that also does is it enables the other team to suddenly start thinking, I can have a go myself and get back in this.
Yeah.
And then they almost did.
Yeah, and just defensively they can be more settled. I mean, normally, I think that's one thing that they did so well last year is that they broke so quickly. I think just remembering the Brighton game from last year. In the Brighton game from last year was when Haaland sent Dunk absolutely flying into Rose Zeb, wasn't it? Just shoulder charged him off. But it was just all quick transitions. Was it
Dunk or Webster?
Webster?
I think it was Webster.
Webster,
maybe.
Webster,
he annihilated.
Yeah.
But
but yeah, they're not really doing that.
No, because Walker's a slower down. Vardy was a bit of a carrier rather than a passer type game. So the game felt like all they're going to do is give the ball to Doku and say, do you remember that game a few weeks back with Ben Rama against James Milner? Well, you can just don't do the passing bit, just nail him. And it was just unbelievable.
I love the way that De Zerbi was asked about that in his match of the day interview, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's nothing to do with the fact that
nothing to do with
bollocks. He's 38 years old."
He actually said that. Oh, it was because we weren't pressuring the centre backs.
No, mate. It's because Milner's old, man. That's it. And Doku's not. Doku's young and quick,
and he's doing that against everybody. Like he's not. Yeah. That's what he does. That's why he's out there to do it. And I do look at it and think to myself, does Jack ever get back in? Because you can play on that side. But I'm like, I'd much rather play him on the right and play Jack on the left and actually start to push that ball level of control and have carriers up into that half and play more of the 4-2-4 system. But I guess all the time he's grinding out the wins and he's managing the competitions. That's the thing. Pep ain't playing this league for us to do well at fantasy. No. He never has been. He's doing it to manage all the competitions and keep winning. And that's what he sees.
Yeah.
And it's working. But it doesn't, as assets here, look, any other week, you'd say, what did we get? 8 points and 9 points from Alvarez and Haaland?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's fine. I was quite happy with my 6 points from Doku as well.
And 6 points from Doku. Is it enough?
Is it enough? I think against the defence, like the way that Brighton have been playing defensively, I think at home, probably not quite enough. I'd like 20 points from the two. When I say not quite, I mean, I think when I say not quite, I think it's one return short. I think one each is not enough.
Can you imagine how many transfers out for Alvarez there'll be the first time he doesn't start?
Yeah.
It'll be like 2 million in 1 week.
What's his ownership at the moment?
Yeah, I think it was about 35%, 40%. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit, I look at this and think, do you fancy Alvarez and Haaland to do okay against Man United next week?
Yeah, probably, but it's still one of those tough away. It's one of those away games. Like they just don't do the same thing away from home. We know the way. We know. Well, I think the United game is probably an exception to the big teams, and that's what I mean by that is that you've said that Pep's not playing fantasy. He's playing this game of chess that involves 4 competitions. So for him to win 4 trophies, for example, he doesn't have to win at Arsenal. Like you don't have to win. He doesn't have to win at Old Trafford to win 4 trophies this season. That doesn't it's not a requirement. He has to have control of the game. He would rather have more control of the game, not expose himself. But again, it's United. So for really, it should be it's United. There's no option. We have to win. So that should be the driver.
Yeah, I mean, I assume all these people will play. I assume all of the guys will play.
Don't think they did anything wrong.
No. On the Brighton side, looked like March got a bad injury.
Yeah.
Which probably means a Drinker is right wing for foreseeable, which also means probably that Matoma then is minutes more guaranteed, which is good for him.
Yeah. I didn't really think he had much of a risk anyway, Matoma, to be honest.
No, but
other than obviously they've got Europe, so
you just got so many games, haven't you? That
there's more games than they've had previously. Yeah.
I mean, I think we all thought like Lamptey was going to play most weeks, and then suddenly he doesn't. He turns up and mucks about. Didn't play Veltman this week.
Yeah.
Like you can't. It must be weird as a Brighton fan. You must be like, okay, surprise every week. Like you got no idea what's going to turn up.
Yeah.
In your door.
I try and work out what their expectations are as well, though, given that it's just as a fan. I mean, like, what are the expectations of a Brighton fan right now?
Yeah, because they're still right up there.
Yeah.
Top 4 looks tough. We're trying to manage the competitions. Top 4 looks tough, but hey, they're with the good fixtures they've got coming up.
Yeah,
they'll be looking for Europa again, certainly. And they can't afford to slip because everyone else is doing okay. A lot of teams got wins this weekend. It's real tight, real tight. Matoma.
I feel like, yeah. I was going to say I was going to do looking at the Palmer and Watkins move for Rashford and Archer, and I can do it. So I actually have got the money for that.
And that means you could bench Palmer or Ward-Prowse, depending on fixtures.
Whenever the hell I want. Yeah, basically. And then I can play Watkins, Haaland, Alvarez. So what was the question again? Matoma. I think it's weird because I was saying to our mate Jack when I was saying Bumo to Matoma feels easy, but you could just leave him in there and save a transfer.
Yeah.
And when was the last time Matoma returned? When was the last time he did anything interesting and fun? I don't even know. I can't. Was it? Like
his last 3 weeks have been 2 points, 2 points, 1 point.
Yeah, so game week 6.
But it was Man City away, Liverpool at home, Villa away.
Yeah.
But when he played Bournemouth at home, he got 14 points.
Yeah. And when he played Wolves away, he got 12.
And when he got Luton, he got 5.
Yeah. So
and then you look at it and
he's all right in good fixtures.
In the next, let's just go these next 4 fixtures: Fulham home, Everton away, Sheffield United home, Forest away.
Oh, it feels good, doesn't it?
Like, really if they weren't in Europa, we wouldn't even think about it.
I'd just be in. He'd just be in. I mean, they've got enough. They've got enough players though. They've got enough players in that sort of midfield slot to be able to manage the other positions. I'm trying to put myself in. I'm trying to convince myself that Mitoma's going to get all the minutes because everyone else is going to get rotated.
Well, I think since March is out, he's just their most important player.
Yeah,
he's their best player. He's their most important player.
Nobody else really plays on the left. Nobody else really plays on the left either. I mean, like João Pedro kind of does, but like he would play in the middle. Welbeck's injured. Ferguson plays.
He's probably my easiest.
So who else have they got then? Who else have they got? They got Gross, Adringa, João Pedro, Ansu Fati, Buonanotte. Is that kind of it?
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with Buonanotte, but he doesn't.
I mean, he's like the last one, but
yeah,
I can't see Mitoma being rested for any of those players. Like, just don't see it.
Yeah,
just maybe against Burnley.
He could make it into my team this week if I just choose not to go for, say, a Saka, for example. Then the easy one would be to take one of my Spurs out for Mitoma, and then Alvarez to Watkins. That's a potential.
Okay,
that's a potential, but. Yeah, Sunday games after Europa. You don't want to make that move early, do you?
No, not ideal.
And you're bringing players in for Sunday games when the deadline's on Friday as well, which is not ideal. Not ideal.
Nope.
Chelsea, Arsenal?
No, what we're going to do, we're going to give away a mug. So
give away a mug, mate.
Give away a mug. So for everyone listening on podcast, we'll catch you in a minute. And now we'll give away a mug because I haven't even set up this screen yet. So you're gonna have to bear with me 1 second.
What you gotta do?
I don't know what's gonna come up when I click this button. Mug giveaway. Absolutely nothing comes up. Perfect.
Magnificent.
Is that the right thing to come up? Oh look, there it is. Cool. Never get rid of that. Cool. So this is the tweet. So last chance to go and retweet this. I will give it like 20 or 30 seconds just because there is a 20-second delay on YouTube. So I think that's the one. So I'll just spam it in there. You got 20 seconds to do that, and we'll give away a mug. If you haven't seen the mugs, I can't show you the mug because I don't think I have one up here with me. I don't think.
I still don't own a mug. Just
have I not sent you a mug?
You even met me. I didn't get a mug.
I took a mug down.
What? I completely forgot about it. If I'm honest, I didn't come away crying that I didn't get a mug. I completely forgot about it.
Why did
why didn't I ask you to bring me a mug?
This is true. Yeah, I think I gave my parents a mug after all that, but
were they proud?
Very proud. There's a tweet. Loading that tweet. I don't know how many people have retweeted it, but you kind of have to be following us. I mean, I'm not gonna above average FPL. Yeah, this pod's been going on for ages already. Profile doesn't have to have a picture or anything else. NC so out until the new year, apparently. Okay. Right.
Let's go.
Sorry?
Done.
You're so impatient.
Yeah, I am.
Right, it's 24 entries, so good luck to everyone. 24 entries loaded.
One mug.
One mug. One mug, one winner.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Why
go.
is this not working? Oh, there it is. Okay, so you just want me to draw it now?
Yeah, let's go.
You're so good at building the suspense. I love it.
No. Just get the mug out.
Drawing one winner. FPL Punk Lee. If you are in the chat, just give us a shout.
It's in the chat. Send him in the chat. Well done, FPL Punk.
He's in the chat?
Yeah. He's in the chat.
Recently? Or right at the start?
Yeah. Literally like a minute ago.
Oh, I was shouting out Herbert from Family Guy. So yeah, FPL Punk. Just drop me a message on Twitter, on X, and send me your address, and I will send you a mug. Simple as that. And as soon as the floods have cleared up here in northeast Scotland, then
it might be a little while on the post.
Yeah, there he is. Nice one, Lee. So yeah, just send me a message. Send me your address, and I will send that to you. Happy?
Chelsea Arsenal. Come on.
Cool. So moving on, Chelsea Arsenal. Just a thing for anyone who's now back listening on the podcast. If you want to join our mug giveaways and stuff like that, you have to join us on stream on YouTube. YouTube.com/above average FPL. And those are the guys that are watching the YouTube. If you could like the stream, the video, subscribe, good stuff like that, then that would be much appreciated. Chelsea Arsenal.
Marvellous.
2 teams that we wanted to lose.
Good result then.
Perfect.
2-2.
Done. Next game.
Perfect. I mean, it's not, it's a 2-2, which sounds like a ding-dong game, and it
was a bit crap.
1.3 XG, including a penalty, versus 1.0 odd XG.
Yeah.
It's not.
It didn't look like a
functional.
A battle. Not functional.
It's not functional. The way they're playing, the way even they're doing it's not. Palmer's obviously. Hey, he's eye-catching because he's on penalties. I mean, he wrestled it off Sterling.
That was funny.
In itself. I mean, now he's done that. You'd have to think surely that he gets them until he knows otherwise. But he also, just reference on that, his baseline was 16 for the game.
It's good.
He gets 18 for the goal, and he gets 6 for playing. So it was -6 off the rest of the stuff he did for the week for the game.
Oh no, hold on.
His total baseline was 16. His total bonus.
His total bonus. I was going to say you confused that. You said baseline is 16. I was like, that's not bad.
Yeah, I didn't know. His total bonus was 16.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Considering 18 for the goal
and 6 for playing. Yeah. So yes, he managed to do -8 off the rest of the stuff he's done. So that's one to just keep an eye on, that we might have somebody that, yes, he's on penalties, but if he doesn't get penalties, then
that's about it.
And if he does get them, well, he might still not get a bonus for anyway. But I thought he was pretty good. I felt he played almost like the Havertz role of old in that sense.
They don't really have a striker when they're not playing like Nico Jackson. Like they've got they've literally got no striker.
Yeah.
So it does kind of weird, does look kind of disjointed the way they're sort of setting up. Yep. I guess it's weird because I wouldn't have him as the most forward player, but it's almost like, well, no one else really kind of wants it. You used to play for City, so you must be quite good. So why don't you go up there and see what you can do? I think.
It does look odd that City sold him, really. You look at it, why'd you sell him? He's good. He's good. But
is he sold or is he on loan?
No, sold. 40 odd million.
Weird.
They're definitely getting better. Look, Enzo and Caicedo in the centre midfield is going to get better. You're not going to do badly, off of that. They are getting there. They just, Arsenal managed to find their way back into it. One mistake and they pounced on it, and then
there's a lot of mistakes, especially in goal.
Yeah, it is raining a lot. Again, we will come back to the context of all of tonight's games. Is that every single game pelted down, and it was post international break. So, us saying that this wasn't 2 teams functioning well doesn't mean they're just never going to function again. I'm sure Arsenal will function very, very well when they play Sheffield United next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is one of those things for it. Chelsea players, I think Palmer, I think you just play him. It's just going to be very difficult to bench him when he's on penalties. It's so hard to bench a penalty taker. It's so hard.
The fixtures is just so bad though. Like Brentford's okay at home, but like Spurs, City, Newcastle. I mean, Brighton and United at the end of that run are probably okay.
So no.
Brighton at home in particular, and then, but we're all going to want at least 2 in game week 16, aren't we?
Yeah. So
we're all going to want at least 2.
Even if nothing else, that you're bringing him in, You'll use him when you need to. You can have him as first sub if you want every week.
Yeah.
And then, hey, great, you've got the penalty taker with the games.
Yeah, just accept that. Yeah, just accept that you might get a penalty or two that you might miss out on. But believe that most people are going to miss out on that. Nobody's bringing in Palmer to pick up all the penalty points.
No,
like it's not. It's not like half the game's going to be sitting there getting the points, and you're going to be like, "Oh shit, he's on my bench again." Like, no, that's not going to be. Most people just won't have him, right?
Yeah, and if he doesn't get a bonus, even if he gets a penalty, just think of him like a defender. Do you know what I mean? Like almost like it's almost very similar to clean sheet points, like a 7-pointer. If he gets them, so that's fine. So you're not too bothered really if you lose a clean sheet on your bench, and this would be very similar. But he's a gift. He's sub 5 million. It's an absolute gift. On the Arsenal side, they're incredibly reliant on Saka's creativity, let alone Saka goals. 13 open play XG now in 9 games. And I think we can safely say they're not playing how they started last season. We spent, for anyone that's been here with us for a little while, all we talked about was on this map was the first 30 minutes of Arsenal every week for the first 10-15 games of last season until Jesus got injured. It
was like first 50. It was always like first 15. It was first 15 of the first half. Yeah. It was first 15 of the second half, and then all their opposition in the last 15 of both halves was just a complete shutdown.
Yeah.
It was like bang, bang, bang. You ain't coming in. That was kind of the mantra last year.
There's weird stuff when I look at this, like XA for Odegaard is now getting to the point of weird, like just not bothering to do it. He's on 0.7 XA for the entire season now.
He's literally just like not passing, or he's passing to guys that are 50 yards out and that are shooting.
It's just, after a while, you're like, what's like? I don't even know what to take from it anymore. It's not unlucky. He's just not even trying.
Yeah.
It's weird. So it's completely reliant on Martinelli and Saka. That's the great part in this. So on wildcard, would you go Martinelli and Saka? I'd be very tempted, because that these two games against Sheffield United and Burnley, it could just be Saka to Martinelli goal, Martinelli to Saka goal, back and back and back and back and back and back.
Yeah. Very easily.
Yeah, you could easily see you get 7, but one of those games there'll be like 6 returns between them.
Yeah,
but there you go.
They've got to create more though. I mean, they've got to create more and better chances and bigger chances. They just have to in these games. And fine, you can say that fixtures are going to drive that. We just know. I mean, we know that Sheffield United are horrific as well. So that's they've got Sheffield United and Burnley both at home in the next 3. I think it's perfectly viable to have like a Saka, Martinelli double up. I'm assuming you triple up with a defender as well, just for all of those clean points as well.
I think you just do Gabriel. I don't think you'd muck about. I think you just do Gabriel. Also, because Sheffield United are just bad on set plays. Yeah. So there's every chance you're going to get the dong. Every chance.
I can't believe you called it a dong.
It's always a dong.
So much influence from the FMLFPL boys.
Well, it's always a dong. It's always a
dong. Okay.
It's always a dong.
We haven't got much to go in terms of games.
Are we on to do we sell Man United players if you got them?
I mean, they're just shit. Like they got City next as well. I mean, they're just bad, man. I just don't. I mean, the problem is Luton's in 12, Fulham's in 11. I mean, to be fair, they could go away to Fulham and not get much.
Yeah.
they could go away to Fulham and not get much, because if their finishing's not there, then like Rashford probably could have had a couple of returns yesterday, but he just doesn't, like, he hasn't scored in like 9 games or something like that. Like, that's just insane to me.
Yep.
Obviously McTominay coming in and being this saviour. Harry Maguire's now, rock solid at the back. What the fuck is going on at this club, honestly? I just don't know what's going on.
I don't like Lindelof. Like,
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, to be fair, I would just accept that. Just accept that you might concede some points against Fulham, Luton, and Everton, and just get rid of them.
Yeah,
just get rid of them. Brighton have better fixtures. Liverpool have better fixtures. Villa have better fixtures. Arsenal have better fixtures. West Ham have better fixtures. Just get rid of them.
I did think. I thought Bruno was on it. I thought Bruno was good. And obviously, when everyone else is like doing bad stuff, it does make him, even with an assist, good on the bonus. So he gets an extra couple of points just on bonus, just because, one, they're not keeping cleans, and then, secondly, everyone's missing chances and he's still doing the good stuff.
He got a couple of bonus yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a couple of bonus just for an assist.
Yeah.
So, if you look at this, Dalot and Bruno, and you had a man at this game, and you've walked away with like 18 points out of it, you've done pretty well off an absolutely terrible performance.
Yeah.
Dalot scored was that 0.01?
0.03.
0.03 XG chance. You know what I mean? Is other than that, he'd have walked away with a 2-pointer from Sheffield United.
Yeah.
They're tough. You certainly aren't buying them. You certainly aren't having any. Bar someone might decide, I'm just going to keep Dalot because there's just not a huge number of defensive options out there. And I think he probably, because all of the others just don't do anything creativity wise, I think he'll end up top on baseline every time they do keep it clean, probably. But then you're like, how often will they keep it clean? Because that first half, they were utterly dominated by Sheffield United.
Yeah.
And they got away with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the prices of players at the moment. I'm like, even like Son 9.5. I'm not sure about that, but like Saka 8.5, Martinelli 7.7, Bowen 7.3, even Soboslai 7 million. I'd rather have him than Bruno at the moment. Diaby 6.7, Bumo 6.7. Like, I'd have all of these players ahead of Bruno right now. Mitoma 6.5.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
There's just too many players that I would have ahead of him. Gordon 5.6. Like, I'd have Gordon ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Look, if people have got him, and I think a lot of people had him with the prospect that they were moving him to Saka anyway. So I expect a lot.
Yeah. That's fine.
But
that's easy.
We talked about XA earlier. I got that a bit. 1.15 apparently Odegaard is now up to, but is Bruno's done 3.34, triple the amount of XA that the likes of an Odegaard doing. He's top in the league for the midfielders from FPL in terms of XA. He's working hard. He really is, and the players, he's only got 2 assists for that 3.34 XA. Like, they're letting him down, effectively, which is tough.
Is there any way to? I mean, I don't know whether anyone's going to be looking at this, or is there any way to do this? But is there any way of finding out who is the biggest culprit of, underperforming somebody's XA? Like, Bruno has let's say Bruno has 3.5 XA and he has 1 assist. So there's 2.5 XA gone missing.
Yeah.
And that underperformance is because of Rashford 1.5 XG, Højlund 0.5 XG, Yeah. Is there anywhere that shows that? Because that'd be interesting.
Scout's pretty good for that. Scout's pretty good at, you can do like team profiles, and then you can like flick the deltas up and down. And you can sort of see who's over stuff and who's doing it. It wouldn't necessarily tell you that.
Wouldn't necessarily tell you that you have
Bruno
like a little flow chart.
Rashford.
Bruno, and then you have like Rashford. You have the players that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be something for one of the analytics guys to see if there's any information.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there are ways on it, but obviously Bruno to almost add that one in for Rashford, which every time I see Garnacho come on, I think he's better than when he's not on, because they don't play left foot wingers to play with a left foot like it. And so when he comes in, he opens his body a bit like Martin. It reminds me a lot of Martinelli in the way he opens his body and was like, if he gets the chance that Rashford gets, he would open his body. He'd just tuck that through. I do think there comes a time where he just thinks, I'll play Garnacho on the weekend. I mean, I don't think it's going to be against City next week, but I'm also surprised he didn't play Mount. Like, he obviously doesn't. Ten Hag definitely doesn't play FPL, so doesn't realise that flat track bully Mount is always good against promoted teams. Definitely didn't watch the Chelsea Norwich game. No. But Anthony it's just not enough, is it? Hey, we got McTominay, right? We said about potentially as a little outside shout, as a 1 week punt before your wild card. We'll claim that one.
We'll rewind the tape. We'll find it. No, I'm too lazy.
Yeah, we're too lazy. Bournemouth, Wolves.
Could not find. Well, I found a picture of 6'7" Sasa, but he had his arm in the air, which meant he was about 10 foot tall, which means that when his arm was in the air and he was a half decent size, he was actually in my camera box, not just yours, Amazing. Mine. So.
What I'd love more was if you'd have made him really big, and then like he sat behind us, so it was just like a wool shirt and you couldn't see his head. That'd have been perfect. Just done the whole length of the screen. Yeah, I'm not pronouncing his surname. I'm just going to say Sasa.
Kaladzic, is that it? Something like that.
Yeah. Neto's really good.
Cunha's finish was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Solanke's finish was nice.
Solanke's finish was nice.
I don't know what to say about these teams that I don't care about their FPL players. Like,
I think we should just say we don't care about their FPL players and go find teams that we do.
We've got Forest versus Luton next. We haven't got anything else.
It'll be really quick. We've been around an hour and 20 minutes. We don't need to do much more than that.
This is true. But I mean, there are people that are looking at Solanke for the next few weeks, and obviously he scored this week, and I don't know. They've got Burnley next week, and we know how bad the promoted teams are.
These are teams that very often play the 3:00 game on a Saturday, don't they? They often are your 3:00 Saturday games. No one wants to watch them. And so you sort of you get the scores first through like live score or something like that alert. So I do that every Saturday. I'll like press all the favourites on the Premier League games on that. And when the notification comes up for the goal, you just assume that Neto's involved in it, and you assume Solanke's involved and they score. So as a talisman, if you can look at it and think, I like the fixtures enough to be involved in them, I think you'll get okay out of it. But do I want them more?
Wolves have literally got for the next 5 weeks. They've literally got the anti-Newcastle fixture run, where all their bad games. No, it's the same. All their bad games are at home. All their good games are away.
Yeah,
but you'd have a different narrative to Wolves than you would do to Newcastle, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them at all. Definitely on those ones.
Yeah, you just say they're all bad.
They're the ones where you see people tweet about it and they'll go, Neto's got Fulham and who was the other one they've got?
Sheffield United.
Yeah, they've got Fulham and Sheffield United the next. They don't mention their away. They just say, they've got Fulham and Sheffield United the next 5. Yeah,
and Burnley next 6. Extend it. Move on.
I'm not getting it. Again, like, how can you possibly have enough transfers that you can do players from these teams? I don't understand it. If you already got them, fine.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, okay.
Moving to is madness.
Yeah. I mean, Neto was an option for me last week.
Yeah.
It was a very, very low level option.
One of the good games has gone.
Exactly.
It was a last week job.
That's it.
It was a last week job.
Wood. So happy for him.
The man. I think lots of people obviously that follow the wire know Chris Wood from the sort of Wood jokes, but they don't know that you've had a love of Wood for a very long time.
Mate, he was supposed to be Kane's backup.
You love Wood.
We should have. No. We should have signed him 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
When he could have improved from Kane, and he would have been a perfect understudy to allow Kane to rest.
And they were Kane-esque goals. The clip for the first and the header was great.
Yep. We've had his sticker in our WhatsApp group for quite a while.
Yeah. I fully understand why you are a big fan of Wood. You're not rising to any of this.
Absolutely not, John. No chance.
Can you ever play Turner if you own him ever again?
No. Like, fixtures are bad. You should have a better keeper, and he may get dropped. It's got to be a matter of time, surely. I mean, it's one of those that everyone's just looking at it going, it's a matter of time before the guy that I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name either comes in and takes a spot, because he was playing in the Champions League last year. Is it Benfica keeper? Was it Porto keeper? Benfica keeper?
Yeah. Again,
one of those Portuguese teams, but
too much.
Yeah, he's bound to lose his place at some point, I would guess. It's got similar to like the Arsenal situation with Raya and Ramsdale, in that once one goes bad, the other one comes in. And yeah, drawing at home to Fulham is drawing at home to Luton is not good enough. And
on wild card, would you keep Turner even if you had him at the 4.0, or would you try and save that 0.1 and go down to a 3.9?
Who is that? Who is there at 3.0 apart from Strakosha? Strakosha. Because we do know he's the number 2.
And we do know that the number 1, Flecken, is absolutely terrible.
This is true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Could do. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I would go Strakosha.
They're both bad. Like, why are we talking about second keepers? Is that what we've got to now? It's been so long.
That's what this has come to. Here, what if we get a leak towards the end of the week that Ortega is starting again? 3.9. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Everyone on wildcard.
Who's using Free City now? Yeah, who's using Free City nowadays?
No one. No one's using 3 City.
Maybe just
some are. Well, no, some are. There's some sick bastards with Diaz, and although they probably would have sold him, given the.
Imagine he just somehow gets the spot, and then you did it now, and then you get him for a double. You get Ortega for a double in 20 as well. Oh, that'd be amazing.
There's way too long until that.
That's what this has driven us to. That's what's driven us to.
Here are the fixtures, if you care. I don't know. We've kind of gone through all of these anyway. Really, we've spoken about each individual team and about the teams that they're coming up against. So I don't think we really need to go through this. Everyone knows Arsenal got great fixtures coming up. Liverpool got great fixtures coming up. Brighton, Villa, at least short term of really good fixtures.
That Villa one though, look, 5 out of 6, fantastic. 6 game weeks is a long time. It's a long time.
5 out of 6. The West Ham game's gone.
Oh yeah, it's gone now. All right, 4 out of the next 5.
4 out of 5. But yeah.
And then it's two big ones, home City.
2 big ones, and then it's 4 out of the next 5 again.
It is, and then
or you could say it's 5 out of the next 7, whatever you want to call. Yeah.
Yeah. You could just, once you've got Watkins, you're never getting rid of him. So you might as well just get him.
I mean, by the time we get to game week 16, like even in the blank, like, well, actually, maybe you just need to go with one City for 16, 17, and then carry the one through 18, and then get the second one back in 19.
Okay.
Plus your
We're gonna have to do a pod Thursday because it's Friday and it's Tottenham Friday night.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we'll have to do one Thursday, so we won't answer the questions because I think there's a big thing on Son this week as well. Like Son is obviously owned hugely. I know it's 50% in general, but he's more than that really on people that we know and look and see this. He's probably more like 70, 80% owned. He's been having 4 days off at least between each of the games. Postecoglou did his presser post the deadline, so I reckon loads of people didn't see it, but he did start talking about he's going to, because it's a short turnaround, he's going to need to use some of the squad. I really wouldn't be surprised if Son doesn't start on Friday night next week. I really wouldn't be surprised on that.
You worried about Emerson coming in as well?
Probably not. I just think Porro's just too, and it's still a really big game for us as well.
I think we're fine in midfield though, because we've got. I mean, obviously we're fine in midfield because Højbjerg will come in this week, and then Bissouma will just come back on Friday.
I think the thing with Emerson is that it completely changes the dynamic of how they play. Or, as opposed to now he's kind of got Porro's got that like deep line creator type role going. I feel like you play him until you don't need to, but I think Brennan fit, Richarlison there.
I think it's a load of shit, to be quite honest. I mean that in the nicest way possible, because
you think we'll roll it out.
I just think we'll roll it out. I just think what is it? Okay, let's fast forward 12 months, right? And let's say we're in Europa League. Let's say we're in Champions League, whatever you want to call it. Is he going to start rotating players between competitions? Because it's Wednesday to Wednesday to Saturday.
No. But I don't know.
If it was Europa League, fine. But
I think the thing with Son is we don't know that.
We don't even know if he's actually fit.
Because in the game, in the previous game week when we were playing, we played on the Saturday, and then he didn't train again until Thursday. That was his first day training.
Yeah,
so it's 5 days before he started training again. We're going to play Monday night, and then we've got to play again Friday night. So he won't do any of the training work in between.
I wish he just stayed at home over the international break.
I know, mate.
So annoying. I get it for competitive before any Koreans start giving me shit about trying to take players away from their international duty. But for friendlies, there needs to be occasionally a tactical injury. Well, I mean, it's not even tactical. The guy's bloody injured. He's not 100%. We know that. But no, that's fair. We can wait until Thursday to really see what's going on with that, and we'll get.
I think everybody on wildcard, I'd leave them both in your team because you've got money tied up in them.
Yeah,
I think you've got to. I think you've got to leave them both in your team because if you think I still want some of that action, but I'm not sure who. Because let's just say Son does miss a game, Maddo's probably on pens.
Yeah.
If you think you've got Maddo on pens on Friday night, you keep him Maddo.
Yeah, true.
And if so I definitely I wouldn't remove any of those on your wildcard drafts this week. I'd try and keep those two in there.
Cool. Right, we are an hour. We're past 10 o'clock now, so we need to call it. As I say, we're going to come back on Thursday after the Tottenham game tomorrow night. And then obviously Tottenham are on Friday. I think it's been good, man. 2 weeks off. We've done all right, I think, today. We've sort of settled back in. Everyone's in the chat's been great. Hopefully everyone listening to the podcast has been great.
Back in the game.
If you do enjoy it, make sure you drop a like on the video on your way out. Just a quick admin check. 92 likes, 316 people. So 1 in 3 of you are great. 2 in 3 of you need to do better. But you hate it when I say stuff like that.
But press the button. Press the button.
Press the button. It's free. Yeah. Hit the like button. If you want to see more from us, make sure you hit subscribe. We are marching on towards 10,000 subs on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you drop a review of some kind, 5 stars, all of that good stuff. And we will see. I don't know what else to say. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday. Come on, you Spurs.
See you later.